For the regional news with you, Emma Anang. Good afternoon.
Hello, Yvette. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us in this edition of the regional news. In our headlines, 53 people have perished in a ghastly motor accident that occurred early this morning in Sancho following a head-on collision between a 70-seater bus and a mini truck transporting flammable products. We get Kevin Nembo, who is live, to bring us updates of that accident. And our discovery page for today's edition of the news takes us to the Northwest region to meet Tala Etienne, a gospel artist in Bamenda who has been in music for some 12 years. Get to discover his beautiful songs in Limbum, Lamso, English, and French languages. We begin on this sad note where 53 persons have perished in an accident that occurred in early hours of today following a head-on collision between a 70-seater bus and a mini truck transporting flammable products that led to an explosion. 29 survivors who sustained injuries are currently receiving treatment in nearby hospitals. Meanwhile, Governor Awafonka Augustine and his close collaborators are on the site of the accident. Officials of the firefighters unit are still struggling to extract some corpses, and we have our reporter Kevin Nembo, who has been monitoring the situation since morning and is standing by from Sancho. Hello, Kevin. Tell us what is the update of the situation there in Sancho?
Hello, Yaoundé, and welcome to Sancho in the Menua division. It is a dark Wednesday over here as over 53 Cameroonians have perished in the road accident. Meanwhile, 29 have sustained serious injuries and are presently receiving treatment in nearby hospitals. And according to eyewitness account, the accident occurred this morning at about 3:30 a.m. when the 70-seater bus from Douala heading towards Chang collided with a mini truck from Chang heading towards the littoral region, probably carrying fuel. And after this collision, there was a fire outbreak, given that there was an explosion. And the passengers in the 70-seater bus, as well as those in the mini truck, were trapped in various vehicles, and only few people succeeded to escape. Those who were trapped were consumed by the fire and alerted the governor of the Western region, Awafonka Augustine, accompanied by all his close collaborators in Babusam, rushed to the scene where they met the officials of the firefighters unit trying to extract the remains of those who were trapped by the fire. As I said, 53 of them, as at now, have already been extracted from the 70-seater bus as well as the mini truck. Those who were consumed by fire are not. It's difficult to actually identify them as at now, and investigation is ongoing to determine the real cause of the accident. I am Kelvin Nembo here in Sancho, and we'll be monitoring the situation and we'll give you minutes by minutes update. Over to you, Yaoundé.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for that update, and we shall be getting back to you in subsequent editions of the news here. And we also send out our condolences to the bereaved families and quick recovery to the injured in the different hospitals there in the West region. Away from that sad incident to something brighter, some students in the University of Marwa and other higher institutions of learning have been advised to stay focused and not give up on their dreams. As Saint Stefan Talabiwole, the Youth Connect ambassador who was speaking recently in Marwa, where he advised some students to be confident and be aware of the opportunities available that the government has put in place for them in different state universities. Sylvester Atemken tells us more.
During his interactive session with students of the Advanced School of Engineering of the University of Marwa, the science genius Asen Stefan Tema Biwole drill them on how to face studies with perspectives to enable the students to be more convinced and to be aware of the opportunities and possibilities to achieve their dreams.
I'm impressed by the quality of the students here. I'm impressed by the whole school itself, and I'm really looking forward to speak again with them on Thursday. So maybe some collaboration will be possible in the future. I will be more than happy to work with them in the future.
The move, according to the physicist, is to use his personal experience to show the students that there are possibilities for those who believe, those who work, and for those who continue to cling to their dreams.
I would like to make them dream. I would like to share with them the nice story that happened to me. And I want, if it's possible, to have some youth next year to do even better than me, to have greater achievement than what I actually did.
A session lauded by authorities and students of the University of Marwa, who described the young genius as a model of success for other young Cameroonians. As one of the students, Aisata Ebami explains.
He's just like a model for us because all of us, we are young. And what was new for me, just the nuclear energy, because we used to study the solar energy, biomass, and this was very new for me. Firstly, it will help me to enhance my way of searching because I'm very passionate about research, and this will be a good step for me to continue in my way.
The Youth Connect ambassador is also expected at the end of his 10-day working visit in the Far North region to facilitate collaboration between Western universities and the University of Marwa as one of his ambitions, and to hold working sessions with some secondary schools and authorities in the region. Marwa, Sylvester Temke for the Regional News.
Back to the Central region, where media practitioners from around the country are currently being drilled on the role peace journalism can play in the society. This is in a 2-day workshop ongoing in Yaoundé, where participants are expected to be able to propagate peace through their different media channels. Paul Odnela Zana tells us more.
The training of media men and women is quite timely and coming at a time when the country is going through socio-economic and political crises, with reporters sometimes being accused of aggravating the situation. Day one of the capacity workshop focused on professional diligence handling and treatment of information at all levels. Gilbert Nyongabsen Dansi is a facilitator.
We are here in Yaoundé to enable the journalists to gain skills on how to effectively produce, report, program, and broadcast humanitarian-oriented reporting and peace journalism-focused program, which is about reporting to enhancing non-violent responses to conflict and peaceful society.
According to the organizers, journalists are the chosen ones because of their social responsibility and ease to disseminate information to the public.
There's no better partner to work with than the journalists and the media, whom we know they are closer to the communities and they can better communicate peaceful ideas and non-violence options to conflict.
Participating in the practical exercise, Bertrand though says he is satisfied with the knowledge he has acquired and hopes to receive more.
What has been discussed so far is very important to the life of journalists vis-a-vis what is happening in the country. Peace journalism and all the tips that were given yesterday is just what we need to embrace, because there's a lot of war journalism that is being practiced now, and it is escalating crises that we have and other issues that is affecting national life. With the techniques that were given to us, it is going to help us to see how we could better de-escalate what is happening in the country.
Worthy of note is the fact that the first phase of this initiative was in May 2020, and the project is expected to round off in April 2022 with the goal of enhancing non-violence and peaceful society. Paul Ornelanzana for the Regional News in the Center.
And it is 14 minutes after 2 p.m. and most of you are at lunch. So we take you now to the market in the West region, where prices of table bed has taken a nosedive after the relatively high prices during the festive period. Chickens are now abundant and vendors say buyers are not available. Our reporter Chetembok has been visiting, or rather investigating, into the current situation of table beds and put together the following report for the Regional News.
Inhabitants of the city of Bafoussam, known for the high production levels of table birds, are now saying hooray. The reason is that the price for table birds has dropped dramatically, making it possible for everyone to afford at least one table bird for home consumption. Table birds producers made brisk business during the last festive season and now can feel that they are losing little this time around, come what may. A poultry farmer explains.
Market not the fan now, so market not the pass and fowl to the cheap. Same time for Christmas, you know, see no customer now. Now you same fowl 2,200. So now I'm there for 3,500. So now I'm there for 3,000. So I'm there for 4,500. It depends on how you see it's a fowl day.
Whatever the case, consumers say, in spite of the abundance, the size of the birds for sale leave little to be desired.
I came to buy fast, but I'm not even seeing the one that's supposed to buy because they're a little bit expensive. And you don't even see the reasonable sizes. That the ones that I've seen a little bit small, so I don't really want those sizes.
It is often said that if you cannot have what you want, make do with what you have. That is what Bafoussam city dwellers are certainly telling themselves. Che Tembok for the regional news in Bafoussam.
And from Bafoussam, we move to the North region in Garua, where vendors at the Garua fish markets are making efforts on a daily basis to keep the market very clean. A lot, however, still needs to be done in the domain of hygiene and sanitation to make the market more attractive to buyers and sellers. Vanessa Okna-Snamo went around the fish market in Garua and now reports.
A cleaning roster, a day set aside for sanitation activities, among others, used to be the routine of vendors at the Garua Fish Market to ensure a tidy environment, as explained by the president of the Association of Fish Sellers, Jacqueline Dero. We installed a day last year, that's Thursday, to clean the market. Every woman would come at 6 a.m. and together we clean the market until 10 a.m. before we start selling our fish. An organization established thanks to support from the North Regional Delegation of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Industries that over time was no longer respected, with many disregarding the cleaning roster. But for some time now, we no longer respect this organization due to some misunderstanding. Each woman now cleans just her shade and begins to sell. This makes the market constantly dirty. Mindful of the present state of the Garua Fish Market and conscious of the impact this can have on their health and business, the wish of vendors is to come back to the old system of cleaning the market to make it constantly clean and attractive. Garua, Vanessa Wunang-Sinamung for the regional news.
And now to the Northwest region, where some Bamenda-based artists say due to the prevailing insecurity situation in the region, they are unable to organize public shows wherein they can showcase their talents. They have now resorted to different social media platforms such as YouTube and Facebook to promote their art. One of them is Tala Etienne, fondly called as artist name Wanji, whose music has gained popularity since he started releasing songs in YouTube and other platforms. Maybe Mikem Tisakem now present the musician whose latest song will be released this Wednesday night.
Adonai, we worship you, the Son of the Most High God. We worship you, the balm of Gilead.
12 years in music and his talent continues to blossom. Wanje is a gospel artist set for the release of his latest song, Adonai, this Wednesday evening on YouTube. This adds to his credit of 3 singles and an album of 7 songs. He says his music is divinely inspired.
Since I got born again, I don't write songs, I receive songs. I was at work when I heard Adonai. It was coming part by part. Listen, I was just worshiping with it until it finished it. The way you can hear it sound. I'm gifted to compose in limbo.
Me on ninjindong, jiwen famine now, because yoti eta.
I hail from the Northwest region, precisely from Cameroon.
Now he has found a new heaven on social media, where he believes attracts more fans.
You know, at first we were like, if it is God, then God will do it. But I realized that it is nonsense to think like that, because I need to hustle. Even right now, when I'm walking on the way, if I see somebody with a phone, I will be like, just click to my channel, just subscribe.
The past years for him have not been an easy ride in a genre of music that he believes requires much focus and exposure to touch even the hardest of hearts. He says his greatest challenge so far is financial.
The song I release, I have to sponsor it online via credit card. You do YouTube highlights. Finances is a challenge.
The gospel artist, who is married and a father of one, revived his Christian faith in 2012. Mabel Menkemdis Akem for the regional news in Bamenda.
And that beautiful report from Bamenda wraps up this edition of the regional news, in which you heard that 53 people have perished in a ghastly motor accident that occurred in the early hours of this morning following a head-on collision between a 70-seater bus and a truck transporting flammable products. And we also got to discover in the course of this newscast a gospel artist in Bamenda whose songs have been attracting fans in the social media due to the fact that he cannot sing because of the socio-political crisis ongoing in the Northwest region. And the news was produced and compiled by Kelly Eben and presented by Emma Anang. Tomorrow is another day.